Hey everybody, welcome to Fit Tip Tuesday. Today I'm answering another subscriber's question about pants fitting. I was going to switch gears and move on to tops because I'm starting my tee sew along on Friday during FabFit Friday. But I decided I'm still getting a lot of pants questions and I'm going to do a complete fit tutorial for the tee on Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time during my FabFit Friday. So I thought I could squeeze in a few more pants questions, even though we're starting a tee sew along. I'm wearing one of my tees. This is from this weekend. I taught at Stitches at Home, and I taught my tee and tunic class. And I was so excited to work with the beautiful fabrics I got from Fabric Mart Fabric that I actually made two tees, one with a short sleeve and one with sleeveless. So this is the ITY knit I showed during the Fabric Mart Fabric Haul video I did last week. And I'm just going to stand up and show you how cute it is. It's just past the waist to my hip. It's nice and swingy. It doesn't cling. So I'm really happy with this. And I finished the neckline as is. This is sort of a crew neckline close to the neck. Sometimes I think it's nice to have coverage for my chest area when I go outside in the sun, because a lot of my necklines are open. So I decided to leave this one, close around my neck. But anyway, I just wanted to share it with you because it is one of the fabrics that I shared during the fabric haul video, and sometimes I think it's nice to see the fabric, when you get it in the mail, and then what you do with it later. So I just wanted to share that. So today I'm going to be talking about how to fix your pants pattern if you feel like your pants are tight vertically when you lift your knee to walk or sit. So basically I'm talking about if your pants feel like they're pulling like from the knee to your hip on your front thigh and they feel snug. This can be caused by a couple of different reasons. One of them is if you have a sway back or a prominent behind. So these two issues can cause your pants to feel tight when you lift your knee and walk or sit. All right, so let me show you what I have prepped here. Basically what we're going to be doing is adding some length to the back and front crotch to make room for your leg to bend so you can walk and sit without it feeling tight, across your front thigh. So you can see here I've added some lines already, and the pink lines are where we're going to add, and then the dark lines are where we're going to take away. Sometimes if you add to the lower parts of your crotch, it may make your overall crotch too high. So then you would want to take it off of the top. So let me start with the back. I'm going to move the front out of the way. Okay, you can see here I have two add lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and my rotary cutter, and I'm going to make pivots here and here. Okay, so in the back, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to slash this along the line. And then I'm going to sort of make an out so I can get it. I'm going to make a pivot there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to extend the crotch here slightly. Okay, so that's going to add room. And I've got my Post-it notes all ready to fill in the area so you can see what I'm doing. So basically, we want to spread that a little bit. Okay, and that's going to give us some room there. And then let's also slash here. And I'm going to make a pivot. Okay, and so we're going to add a little bit of length here. Put the Okay, so you can see what we're doing here is we're creating more room along the back crotch, and that's going to give more room for you to bend your leg. You know, I would just do this a small amount. So let's say you do a test fit and your pants look nice when you're standing and you don't have any extra wrinkles or any extra fabric, and this is really all about just creating room to walk and sit comfortably. So I would say I would shoot for between, you know, 1/4 and 3/8 of a spread in these two places. You don't need to add a lot of room. You just need to add enough to create room to move. Now remember I said sometimes when you add here, if this crotch length overall is correct, you know, the length is correct, then what we need to do is slash along this top guide that I drew, and I'm going to slash straight through, and I'm going to create a pivot here, and I'm actually going to lower this. Okay, so if it works out that the waist becomes too high, you can take it back off up here. And sometimes if you have a sway back, you will have fabric puddling there, and that would be an indication that while you may need room down here, you need to get rid of it up here. So that completes the adjustment for the back leg. Now let's look at the front leg. We're going to be doing a similar adjustment where we're going to add to this area here and here, so our front crotch and our inseam. And if you've got a comfortable crotch when you're standing, it's really helpful to be able to add to this area without changing the shape of it. So like if your shape is correct, it just needs to be a little bit longer, we're going to add from within the pattern. So I'm going to pivot here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut across my horizontal guideline just past this vertical, so I can make a hinge here from the inseam up past the crotch to the base of the zipper seam allowance. Okay, and what that's going to do is that's going to allow me to spread open the pattern like this. Okay, and again, this is a small adjustment, 1/4, 3/8 of an inch. Give that a try. Okay, and then you can see that we need to true up our center front edge. So I'm also going to slash through the top of the pattern, and I'm going to slide this top section over to true up that center front edge. Okay, so in effect what we're doing is we're adding over here now. Just put some pink behind there. Okay, so now we've created more room, and again, these are small amounts, 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. If the waist becomes too high, the way you can fix that is, in addition to sliding this over, you can also lower it a little bit. Okay, so let's say we wanted to just get rid of a little bit of that height at the waistline. Okay, and then I can slash right through this little guideline that I drew to even that up. Okay, so you can see that if I lower that slash there, basically now we can true up the waistline edge there. Okay, so that's how you create more room to allow your leg to move or to sit. Now what I want to do a little test here just to show you. I've added to the insides of the pattern, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay another leg right on top of it so we can see what the result of our adjustment was. And what you can see here is I'm going to color in where the added room goes. Okay, so I'm just going to color this in so you can see that basically I added to the center front edge and I added to the inseam. Okay, so I'm going to color this in. I'm going to take the pattern away so you can see that these adjustments realize themselves over here at the center front edge. So even though it didn't maybe look like I added to the front crotch, I did. I added all of this in here, and along the center front. Now sometimes you may not need the room all the way up to the waist in the center front, and if that's the case, you can angle your center front back in like this. Okay, so so if you didn't need it up at the top, you can always cut that off. Okay, so it would end up like this. And really, if you have a defined waist, meaning your waist is significantly smaller than your full hip or your tummy, having an angle here at your center front will fit you better. Okay, so those are the adjustments. And then what I want to do for one last thing here is, anytime you adjust a pattern, you always want to put it together with the crotch to make sure you have a nice shape front to back. So I'm just going to cut this out here, and I'm going to put it together with my back so we can see how that looks. So I'm going to line up my inseam. Okay, so you can see basically I have a nice shape front to back, and I've added room for movement, and we have a nice smooth back to front. This is what I'm talking about here. There's no peeking up. It's a nice smooth transition. So now I know that this adjustment is complete and ready to try out. All right, so that's how you adjust your pattern pieces if your front leg is feeling tight from your knee to your hip when you bend your knee or sit down. If you have any questions or comments about that, please, post them below and I will help you. If you're enjoying Fit Tip Tuesdays, please consider subscribing to my channel, clicking the bell and the little like button. That way I'll know that I'm doing a good job, and you'll get notified every time I upload something new. On Friday, I am kicking off the T Sew Along. So I have a Women's and Mrs. T, so if you have your copy, get it ready to join me at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Friday, because I will be going over a variety of fitting adjustments that you may need to do to your pattern pieces before you cut out your first tee. So I hope you'll join me for that. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching.